welcome everybody. My name is Chrissy and I'm back with my doggos today. This is Sophie and here's Sprocket, and they're having a little snuggle in the background. Oh, I've missed them. I've been with little Penny that I've been babysitting. So they're a little bit excited to see Mumsy because they've missed me. Now, if you are new to my channel, I talk a lot about the Great Awakening process as well as the current global energies. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell notification as well because that helps me a lot. I also do a bonus reading at the end of each video now on a specific country, so I'm just going to close my eyes and we'll see what comes up. I'm getting England, so that's just what I'm getting. So we'll just see what comes up around that today. So I'm just going to get started. This is a general reading, so we'll just see what comes up. Oh, sorry, Sophie's got she has a terrible grass allergy, so she does chew and scratch a lot. Sophie. Okay, and Sprocket, well, he's just exhausted. Okay, we'll just see what comes up. Now, they're giving me images of bewitching hour. Now, if anyone out there has been a parent, when you think of bewitching hour, it's this period between, like, I would say sort of 5 o'clock at night and 8 o'clock at night when your children are feral. And it's when they play up, it's when they're overtired, they're cranky, you're trying to feed them. It's this like chaotic time. Well, this is the image that I'm getting at the moment. We're in a very chaotic time. It's like bewitching hour where people are becoming cranky, they're becoming overwhelmed, they're overtired, they're overthinking. It's kind of relating it to that kind of example of when people just can't get their thoughts clear. Now, this is what is happening globally. People cannot get their thoughts clear. It's almost like they need to, like if you think of kids being feral, they need to have a good night's sleep and to recover from everything. It's too much for them. So they're overtired, overwhelmed, just exhausted, basically. Well, this is people. And this is people waking up. This is probably us. We probably get tired of all this nonsense and garbage as well. So this is everybody is feeling like this, like bewitching hour. Like we're currently in this little phase where everyone's just like, what? It's too much. I keep saying it's too much for people to handle. I'll see where else we go with this today. See, this is the backlash. The backlash of the agenda is getting big. There's a lot of backlash now. People want to fight back, but they're trying to find that strength inside of them. This is not you if you're watching my channel. This is the people waking up. They're wanting to find that strength inside them now and that courage to step forward and make a difference. They know they're being consumed by this. Their thoughts, their everyday life, this is becoming consuming. And as we know here on my channel, we know this is a great reset agenda that they're rolling out. But these people, we have to remember that they don't understand about the reset. They might be getting snippets of it and bits and pieces, but they haven't pieced together. And let's face it, unless you've probably read Klaus Schwab's wonderful book, The Great Reset, you probably have no clue. Not that any of us have really read that book because it's really not the kind of reading that we're into. But these people are trying to still piece this together. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. And I think that's the point that the guides are trying to say to us. This is not a conspiracy anymore. Now, I post on my Facebook channel. I have a public page called Chrissy Fitzgerald, Psychic Life Coach, if anyone wants to go over and check some of the things out that I post on there. I often post a lot of our songs and things. But this is what I'm getting. There's now senators, and I think I'll post one actually today. Malcolm Roberts, I think his name is, and he's talking about it in the Australian Parliament. This is happening. The Great Reset is being spoken about with the parts, not all, not all, we know not all, with Parliament leaders. And they're the ones that have got that guts to stand up against all this tyranny and dictatorship because they know this is real. It's not a conspiracy anymore. And that's what's really important for you guys to know today, that the guides are actually saying, this is not a conspiracy anymore. This is reality. This is becoming reality, flat out reality. I'll just see where else we go with this. So it's showing me, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. I need it this morning. It's been one of those mornings. It's so cold here. It's winter. And it's grey skies and it's really chilly. They're showing me us sitting in the captain's chairs. So if you're watching my video, we're currently sitting in these captain chairs, and we've got the handles on the aeroplane, and we're pressing all the buttons, and we're ready for liftoff. And we're heading off now. We're leaving all that crap and past behind us. We're moving forward into a better future. Now, this is you if you're watching my channel. We've gone through our soul awakenings, our soul breakdowns. We've gone through so much turbulence in the last couple of years, you could say. And now we're taking off again. So we're taking off into our new, I guess you could say, life. But it's like we're off into the horizon, because we get excited. We get excited about new things that are to come, and where we're going is it's some big surprise, like we're going to land on some beautiful tropical island, and we're going to create these things that give us joy. This is why we're being shown like the captains of our own plane that's taking off now, because we're not going to stay stuck anymore. You know, I talked the other day about that song, We're Not Going to Take It. And we're not going to take it by Twisted Sister, I think it was. Someone wrote down below. Thank you very much for that. So we're not going to take it anymore. We're not. And that's why they're showing us leaving all that behind. It's like we've left that back at the airport. It's like old baggage and luggage that we've dumped at the airport, and we've flown off with new, fresh luggage and baggage. And we're heading in a really fun and positive direction. We're not going to stay stuck in that past because it's futile. It's not what we want. We don't want those feelings anymore. And also I just wanted to mention, yesterday I got the image of us reading the paper with the nasturtiums, and Catherine, you wrote a lot to me about the nasturtiums. If anyone wants to go and check that out, it's in yesterday's comments, about what it actually means. And it actually says that it represents the shield. The red and the orange represents blood, and this is the shield of like it actually, this is what it was actually saying. It was saying that it was about conquest and perseverance, and it was a very positive meaning to the actual flower of the nasturtium. I didn't know these things as well. So maybe go and check that out, what Catherine wrote, because I think it was quite a positive message for us with the nasturtium on the front of the paper, because it represented conquest and sort of moving forward. And I thought that really related to us as well, to yesterday. So the nasturtium, it does have meaning to the flower. So thank you, Catherine. Much appreciated your feedback and your explanation. I'll see where else we go today. I'm getting Europe for some reason. Europe is having a united front. You're really coming together as well. You're very strong as a nation. You're all banding together. It's showing like a big giant rubber band being put around everybody in Europe, and they're starting to squeeze out the truth. If you think of a rubber band, it's like, and you squeeze it tight, it squeezes out the truth. So they're trying to squeeze out the truth from their government. This is in Europe. They're trying to get to the source of what's actually going on and what these governments are hiding. So this rubber band is not only bringing people together and connecting everybody, it's squeezing out the truth. So it's like a double meaning really for the elastic band in Europe. Hang on. People aren't going to be hiding how they feel anymore. That's for sure. People are sick to death of the garbage they're being fed. They're starting to see that government is taking the piss out of them, really, which we know that they are. The MPOX pretty much highlighted that. So they don't want that feeling now of being stupid. And I said this ages ago, that a lot of these people waking up were going to start to feel really stupid. Like, what have I done? I'm on this jab wheel, and how do I get off? And they want to get off. These people want to get off. They've had enough. They're sick of it. Can you imagine having your arms pricked constantly? No one likes needles at the best of time. Imagine being told you're going to have it Well, they're telling people pretty much here in Australia every 4 weeks. Imagine that. Oh my goodness. So that's what I'm getting. They don't want to take it anymore either. Hang on, let's see where else we go. This is great. They're showing me that the reset is flatlining. It's like it's hit an emergency. Oh, this is great. It's showing me like that that game operation where you operate on the person and you have the tweezers and you take out the little like kidneys and the little heart and the little pieces of body. But if you hit the sides, the beeper goes off. It goes zzz. Well, now this is what the guides are showing me. The reset has hit a flat line. So it's like the heart has stopped and it's flatlining. So they're going to have to bring in some emergency, I would say they're saying emergency correspondence to get this reset going again. And it's almost showing me like the, is it the defibrillator? They're putting the defibrillator on the reset and it's like, bzz, they're having to hit it with the electrical paddles and get the reset going again because it's hit this flat line. Because they know, and this is what I keep saying to you, this is a trial for them too. They don't know what's going to work with people and what doesn't work with people and how far they can push people and how long is it before people start to wake up and stand up. So I'm getting there's this flat line at the moment and it's this emergency. It's like, I think they call it a code red, don't they, in hospitals or something like that. And then they bring in the crash cart, the crash trolley, and then they quickly get the paddles out and they hit the person, well in this case they hit the reset button and they reset everything again so that the heart starts again and then the reset takes off again because they don't want it flatlining. I think we could pretty much say that the Mpox was probably a period of flatlining. We know that's been absolute BS and people have seen through that garbage. Even people I know that were jabbed were putting memes on Facebook about the Mpox. There was something about the monkeys from the 60s and having spots on their faces or something. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all the memes as well that are going around. But when people that are jabbed are posting that, you know that this is flatlined. They're not falling for the garbage anymore. So there's going to be this emergency kind of reset where they're going to have to quickly get together, refocus, and start all this again. But in a more believable, I guess is the word, in a more believable way that people will fall for the narrative again. So I think I said, was it September? I'm sure I said September. There might be another big variant or, oh God, there's that many. I can't even keep track anymore. I've just given up. There's A5, B6, 10. We know how it goes. They're just milking it for everything, all the dollars that they can. So that's what I'm getting for today. There's this flatlining of the reset, and that's great. We love hearing stories like that from the guides, don't we, about the flatlining of the reset. Means there's this beep. If you think of a monitor, the heartbeat's going like this, you know, the reset's rolling out, and then beep, it just flatlines. And then all these leaders and that go into that panic mode. So there's a premier here actually where I live in New South Wales, and he started off all like really enthusiastic. He got in, I think it was before Christmas, and now he's like a deer in the headlights. He's just like this. People are asking him questions left, right and center, and see, they don't have all the answers. You got to remember that these leaders that are putting everything out, they don't have all the answers either. They're just doing what they're told from the puppet masters and the elites and the people from above. Implement this, do it the best way that you can. And we know that's what they're trying to do through coercion. But sometimes even the reset flatlines, and that's great. We need it to flatline because it gives us time for people to wake up. Because while these elites and government people in power are trying to reset everything and get everything back on course, it gives time for these people to wake up. So I'll just see what else we get. Hang on. Yeah, these governments, they're cunning, aren't they? They're eliminating the like democracy. So they're eliminating, which we always knew they were, they're eliminating people's decision-making processes now. So have you noticed, and I'm sure you have, I know in Canada you have, people are having less and less say in the decision-making processes moving forward. These things are just being rolled out. basically, and they're being told, people are being told this is an emergency. How is climate change an absolute emergency all of a sudden and everyone has to get electric cars? It's not logic. There's no logic in that. But the people aren't having any say in it. It's not going to the vote. None of this stuff seems to go to the vote. It's like you vote in your leader, which none of us did, so I don't know how half these leaders got in. Well, we kind of do know. But this is what I'm getting. If you vote them in, then you just have to put up with what they are implementing, and that's virtually their agenda, as we know, because there's so many leaders globally. Trudeau, Macron, Jacinda Ardern, just to name a few. So this is what I'm getting. The little people aren't, they're trying to really suppress and take away the little people's power to speak, which we've known for a very long time. I'll just see what else we got. Yeah, they're going to start charging us more and more on the little things. Hey, Sprock. They're going to start, hands, I've got to hold his hand. They're going to start charging us more on the little things. Like here, they're looking at putting up the road tolls. There's a lot of road tolls. I don't know if you have them where you guys are living, but there's all these little hidden charges that they're going to start adding these extra fees. And of course, as we know, God, the cost of living is just spiraling out of control, basically. But there's going to be a lot of these little hidden costs. They're even saying like stamps might go up, phone bills, obviously. Everything's going up, but there's going to be these sneaky little hidden costs as well that we're going to find out about later. They might not make it so obvious to people. It's almost like a bit of a scam, really. This could be even at your teller machines. They're going to start charging, instead of like $2 for a transaction at a different teller machine, they're going to charge you $5. A lot of these kind of sneaky charges are just going to roll out and people aren't going to be aware of them till it's kind of too late and they're already implemented, because we know that's how they work. They work by stealth. Government, banks, all big corporate, making all their money, their greed. And we all know that here on my channel. I'll see if there's anything else today. Yeah, they're just saying, like, for us on here on my channel, just not to fall for it and don't get sucked into all this fear and anxiety and worry. We've really got to reframe what we're seeing. So they're kind of showing me we've got to reframe it and sort of put it into the distance. So we know that the cost of living is going up. We know fuel prices are going up. We know housing, blah, blah, blah. But it goes on and on. The list is probably to infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say. But you can actually visualize that and move it away from you into a tiny speck in the distance. So this is where our skills come in, of absolutely removing those things kind of from our life and knowing that we're fine and we're okay all the time, using a whole different, I guess you could say, wording or thinking process where we know we're going to be fine. Look at us here. We're 3 years on. We've been in a ridiculous circus show. Well, not us, we're out of the circus show now, and we've managed to navigate it beautifully, and we've found peace, tranquility in our life despite everything just crumbling around us. We're still here and we're taking off in our little jet plane. Well, I think it's a very fuel efficient jet plane. We're not using many carbon emissions and things in our jet planes. They're very ergonomic. I gotta hold his hand. He hasn't seen me for a bit, so I've got to hold his hand. I love him. He's a big old goof, isn't he? I'll see what we get on England today. So let's see what comes up. I did say I'd do England today, so let's see what comes up in this reading. And then I'll do the final close for everybody at the end. I am getting that England's taking care of itself now. It's showing me like England starting to like soothe itself. It's starting to, oh, sorry, Sprock. Oh, gosh, he's got to hold my hand. Oh, dear, my dogs. Sorry, they do like to steal the show, and I have missed them. They're my babies. England is starting to soothe itself. So it's starting to I'm getting puppy kisses. Mwah. It's starting to self-soothe. So it's like they've been in damage control for a while, and I think with the whole everything, with royals and all this kind of Boris, and there's been a lot going on sort of in these parts. And I do feel now that people are starting to nurture themselves. They're starting to soothe themselves. They're wanting to slow things down a bit, definitely in England. Hang on. And they're showing me like lots of like restaurant and dining, and they're showing me people are reconnecting. There's this real sense of society again in England, and that sense of community. People are sort of filling the gaps and the holes that they've had in their lives and the voids by reconnecting with others. I'm feeling that that's very big in England. People are wanting that. They're wanting that that connection with people again. And that's happening. I do feel that's happening. And that could be a lot to do with the weather too. People are happy to go outdoors and connect up with other people as well, and just sit out in that beautiful sunshine. I know sometimes it gets a bit grey in winter over there. So I think people are really enjoying, as much as it's probably extremely hot, they're still enjoying just that. I guess you could say it's like getting your life back to a bit of normality, if you call it that. But people in England are really enjoying that. Hang on. Now I'm getting when the changes come, which to me would be when your Prime Minister comes in, the shift won't be straight away. Don't expect that when that person gets in that you're going to start to see hang on, I need a cuppa. Don't expect to see everything come in straight away. These things might take time to kind of filter down to the little people, which is all of us and all the peasants that they're currently treating us as. So these things will take a bit of time to filter out, because see, they're learning with the reset agenda. They're learning that they can't hit people with everything, because people rise up, and we know that because the Netherlands farmers rose up, the truckers in Canada rose up. People rise up when they're pushed to the brink. People rise up. So I do feel like the process in England will be sort of, it's that slower. They're sort of looking at doing things slower because they think that slow and steady wins the race. This is the leaders in England. That slow and steady will win them the race. Hang on a minute. I feel like this is kind of weird, but it's saying that England kind of feels sorry for itself. Not now, but it did for the last couple of years. I feel like England felt like they got a lot of attention put on them for negative reasons, and I think that could be around the whole Meghan Markle, royals, Harry, the whole, just so much was going on that was like very, very negative. There's been a lot of other incidences too, but the whole Boris Johnson, you know, the booing and and him partying on the global stage, people felt silly. It made them feel silly in England, and you don't need to feel silly. That's just what, you know, is fed to the media globally. We don't know the real truth about England. And we don't judge, you know, on my channel, nobody judges you. But I do feel like in England, there was that bit of embarrassing, like we're stupid and we can't get our act together. And Boris's partying did not help that plight. Because here's the rest of the world all locked down and going through hell, not able to see their relatives or dying family, and Boris was partying, as we all know. So there's been like this like comedy sort of show. Well, probably not a comedy show for the people over there, but for the rest of the world, it was like a bit of a comedy show. You know, even the silly Prince Harry and Meghan and all the dramas. And I do feel that's been a big issue for you guys for a couple of years. But now it's like the path is becoming clearer. Even with the change of government and what's kind of happening there, I feel like you kind of have this sense that it'll work out for the better anyway. Like it couldn't get any worse is kind of what I'm getting for England. And at least you won't be kind of embarrassed now by the stupid antics. I'm getting that. You're hoping that someone comes in with that maturity to handle everything globally, so it looks better globally. I'll just see what else we get. See, England, you've got a good fighting spirit over there, and this is surrounding areas as well. You've got a good fighting spirit. You really believe in yourselves, and you've got this really old heritage. It talks about that The heritage goes back thousands and thousands of years, and there's a lot of strength sort of behind England's culture and heritage that gives you a lot of strength to move forward. I'm definitely getting that. There's this real, they're almost like, no, it sounds weird. They're showing me like Highlanders. So there's kind of this Scottish kind of influence. I don't know if that means anything to anybody out there. But again, it gets back to that Braveheart. That I'm getting that visual of the Braveheart for England. You have this very strong inner strength. It's that inner knowing, but it's that inner strength that you have in England to stand up and fight when the time is... Oh, my doggos. To stand up and fight when the time is right. And that's what I'm getting for England. I'll just see if there's anything else. They're just saying, England, you've got this in the bag. So they're showing me like the bag squeezed together and it's got like gold coins in it. So, and I don't mean, this isn't relating to riches. This is about your life might improve. We know the reset's not all in our favour, but just the fact that there's change coming, you know, that can cause things to improve, because when people start to see that change, that's when they start to wake up and they start to see things and they fight back. So sometimes from something that we think is going to be overwhelming and negative, it can end up pushing and triggering things into something positive. And that's why I'm getting this like bag of gold. It's like it can end up being, change can end up being like a treasure. Not always, like they're showing me, it's not always like a bag with a hole in it and all the gold falls out and you end up with nothing. That I don't think that for England. I think it's going to really trigger a response in people that you'll be surprised about when these changes come about. So yeah, look out for that, and that's what I'm getting for England. A lot going on over there, a lot of changes, but it's not all negative. Remember that. Okay, I'll see if there's any final global messages for everybody else. Hang on. People just, oh my God, people cannot believe this is happening. This is, to the people waking up, they feel like this is an absolute nightmare, their worst dream that they've ever had. Hey, darling. Their worst nightmare, and they're just like a big dream. It feels surreal now to these, oh, keep me up, Sprocket, to these people waking up. It's just, it's like everything's a hazard now. They're even seeing it, these people waking up, like everything's a hazard. It's like, you know, when you see that like police tape around like a crime scene. Oh, like a crime scene. Oh, he's got to hold me. Isn't he beautiful? And you see that police tape around a crime scene. Oh, my dog's there. Hi, mate. And sorry, everyone. It blocks you from getting to it. So there's like these hazards. I feel like people, this is what the people waking up are seeing. They're sort of saying, well, if I break through that police tape, that's a no-go zone. So I don't think I'll go there. So they're starting to see things differently as well, these people. Oh, God, love him. These people waking up. The path isn't just clear for them now. It's getting murky. Everything's getting murky for these people waking up. It's like they used to see through the water clearly, but now with these big rollouts, oh my goodness, Sprocket, with these big rollouts, it's showing me like the water's getting all murky and green and full of algae and stagnating, and this what these people are seeing. So they're hesitant now of this like hazards, which is like the police tape. You could almost say it's like around the, they're showing it to me around like testing clinics where people used to line up. Oh, I've got to hold his hand, you know I do. Where people used to line up by the thousands. I'm sure you had them in the countries. Oh, Sprocket, where you were. And oh God, he's dragging me off the chair. And now it's showing me like there's police tape around it, and these people waking up don't want to go in there anymore because they're starting to question things. They are. I know it's hard to believe, but you don't see people queuing up at testing sites. You don't even see any testing sites really anymore. A lot of them have shut down here in Australia. So there's a lot of hesitation, and these are all becoming like hazards to them now because they don't want to kind of go near it. It's like, I keep getting that picture too of that like hazmat. When there's like an accident, they call the hazmat team, and they put blankets and special things over it. It's that kind of, everything's becoming a hazard now for these people waking up. Not for us if you're on my channel, because we don't go near that sort of stuff. We're over here. We live in freedom, roaming the hills, enjoying our life, bushwalking, camping, cooking, kayaking. Danny, I know you love kayaking. We all do different things. And we're not even looking at any of these hazards. But this is how people are starting to view it. That what is going on, and they're cautious. I guess you could say that. If you see some sort of spillage on the road, like an oil spill or something like that, and they call the hazmat team, you're not going to go near it, are you? Because it's a hazard. It's going to make your car slip off the road. This is the kind of thing. They're getting these hazards now. Like, I think I'll avoid that. Oh, they've put out the M jab for the monkeypox. No, I think I'll avoid that. That could be a hazard, because that's something to do with shingles over there and smallpox and all that. So, see, that it's these. They're starting to wake up, because they're realizing that something is amiss. Something is amiss. Honestly, this is happening. I know it's very hard to see. They may not wake up, a lot of them, from the mass psychosis. And we do talk about that a lot here. That was very, very deep, as you all know, with my mother's story. And a lot of you have been through so many similar experiences. And I really appreciate you commenting and all your support through that, because it is very, very battling and very hard to stay true to your beliefs and your what you see as well. But I'm definitely getting that people now waking up are avoiding the hazards from government. So it's showing me like the police tape or the red and white tape around a lot of things, and they're just avoiding. So it's like, it's not that they're not doing it, but they're avoiding complying. And that's what we need. We need them to avoid things and not comply, because when they keep complying, that's when it all rolls out smoothly. And we don't want it to roll out smoothly. So the fact that they're seeing a lot of these things as hazards is great. That's what we needed them to do. So that's where I'm going to leave you today. I'm going to leave you with that. They're avoiding their hazards, and we're over here having a lovely time, enjoying our freedom, getting out in the sunlight, sitting at the coffee shops, interacting with people. I'm here with my doggos, about to spend some time with them, giving some big huggies, because I need it and they need it. I think we all need it. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Please take care. Stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you haven't. Hit those like buttons, because that helps me a lot. And don't forget, I've got tons of self-help videos that can help you if you're feeling lost, lonely, depressed, wanting to give up, had enough of all this. Go and check those out as well. And I'll say goodbye from Australia. Bye, everybody. Bye.